Hello again guys, and welcome to another video. This tutorial was requested of me a couple of months ago and I'm just getting around to it. I apologise to the person that requested it, but I thought that I would do a full portrait for it and kind of get stuck on how I can do pale skin for myself. Been a massive learning curve, not what I thought it would be. I thought it to be a lot of pinks and whites, but it's not. It's actually more violets and greys, but it's going to be completely live. I'm going to go for about half an hour, I hope, and I'm going to shade in this part. The light's kind of pointing this way, so it's darker on the side and darker down below. So this part, you should get some nice gradients of shadow into the lighter colours, and it should show you or give you a bit more insight into how you can draw pale skin. The colours I've been using are, surprisingly, where have they gone? They've all disappeared. Whenever I need them, they all disappear. Fosil Grey, which is quite a warm grey. I've got Mars Violet. I've got cinnamon, dusky pink, but they're very light pinks. I've got flesh tone pink, which is basically beige, just a stupid name for a colour. And heather, which is like a really light violet. You can kind of see it a bit up in here, overlaid over the top, kind of like glazing over the top of your work. Give it a bit more of a, more of a warmer feel to it. There's another colour I was using, it's disappeared. I'm sure I'll come across it. Ruby Earth, that's another main colour, which you can kind of see in here, kind of like a darker reddy pink maybe. And this colour, which is kind of like a grey violet, which you can kind of see here. So this part isn't done yet, it needs blending out. I need to go a lot darker on this side to kind of match the lips a little bit, but we're going to do this part anyway. And I'm going to start off with, I'm going to start off with, I think I'll use that Fosil Grey first. So I'm using Derwent Lightfast like always. I'll leave the names of the pencils in the description if you're using polychromos. I have got a few. The best example I can get for this Fosil Grey is probably what was that? Warm Grey 2. I've only got a 24 set, but that's a pretty decent match, that is. So, but I can't do that to a circle pencil because I've only got 24 polychromos. But you can kind of mix and match and trying to find the same colour. Same with whatever you're using, luminance or whatever. So she's kind of got like, it kind of comes down here, so you've got like a bit of a grey shadow coming down here. Kind of joins up with that there, which is obviously the edge of the cheek, connected to the top of the lip, to the nose. But yeah, I'm quite surprised by the colours. I had to use a colour picker to figure out what the colours were, because what I originally started with just looked like a pink mess. It was horrible. But I've never actually done pale skin before, so I've been learning as I go. And there's actually more colour in this than there is in a someone with a tanned skin tone or whatever. There's so many colours. Like I said, there's violets and there's heathers and there's reds. At the moment I'm just staying light as well. I'm not I'm not really smashing in the colour like I normally do. It's a stupid idea anyway, because you get wax blooms, but you can get impatient with yourself. So I'm just staying light, kind of blocking out the areas where I think this Fosil Grey will go. I'll probably need to go darker eventually, but it's quite light around here. And I'm going to switch up to, I'll go over dusky pink, so the dusky pink colour, I suppose the pinky beige, and that kind of borders the edge of this Fosil Grey. As you see, as it goes over, it goes slightly darker, which is fine because that helps with the shadow side of things, kind of blending the grey out into the pink. You won't make a transition, you just lightly go over both sides of the transition. It kind of, you know, gives you that kind of look of dark to light. Notice I've left that there because there is like a light reflection in there as well. So I'll bring this pink more down this side of this cheek. I'm going to use it down here as well because she's looking like she's got a bit of a hamster cheek going on. She's got food stuffed in her mouth. So I'll blend this out a bit. You can use a pencil wherever you want. I'm using it on its side. Don't ask me why. It's just what I do. I suppose so I can use the side of the pencil better. You should find any method that is best suited to you. That's what I say. As you can see, what I've got here, it's grey in there because that's where the shadow is, and then it's not as grey. So we need to find a way to blend that into that without losing too much of that curve at the bottom of the cheek. So I'm going to do that with some Mars Violet, wherever it's gone. That Mars Violet, which can you say? It's like a grey violet. Obviously, violet to be more. What does that mean? So that's more of a violet. These are kind of the same family of pencils. If you look at them, slightly different shades. And now I've been using a greeny tone in this as well, so you might see me use a green in a minute. And I'm doing here just lightly shading over that hamster cheek edge that I left. It's kind of blending it out a bit. So I won't keep it, but it doesn't matter if you lose it because you can still put it back in. I might have to do that anyway. But it was too strong. You know, I kind of like the colour that I put in here, it was right, but it was too strong for the transition into the bottom half of the cheek, which is quite lighter. So I'm just going lightly, and it's going to go over the top of that dusky pink and kind of blend together, and you're getting like a, you know, like a grey pink colour, aren't you? So there's a little shadow up this side, so I'll just shade that out a bit. It's being cast by a hair, which I'll make another tutorial of when I get around to it. It's easy doing tutorials like this because these drawings take me forever. I mean, if you think it's going to take me probably an hour block or listen properly, you're going to see half of what I've done of that part, but I've got to do the whole face, so... Okay. I think I can push some of that morph out up into that crease again. All I'm doing is just blocking down colours. I'm not going to touch this part. That's quite light, that is. It's almost as light as that. You know, you got a lot of light hitting it from her left hand side. Can use a little bit of cinnamon. That's not cinnamon, where's my cinnamon? That one's cinnamon. It's another dusky pink basically. It's just a darker version of the dusky pink. So you can actually take the dusky pink a bit darker, so it would help you to blend into that Mars White a bit more. Creating like a nice transition. Still looks like a hamster cheek, I'll give you that, but over time, as I keep working on it, because this shadow here has got to come all the way down here anyway, and that'll eliminate that hamster cheek because it's only really there now. A bit more. I'm going very light. I think with pale skin it helps to go really light because you want to keep them whites in because you're going to turn them into grey. It's all grey. Like all this is, you know, Fosil Grey. This is Fosil Grey again, but using this green colour. I kind of use this green into the whites of the eyes as well. So I think it's got a bit of a green theme going on, so I tried to add it in. You know, it's got some. There's actually some green there. It's quite. Use it quite sparingly, really, but it's kind of like looks quite nice. I've used it in there. Doesn't look like it, but it is there. It's kind of like a greeny grey kind of colour. Well, you see I'm going really light. I'm not overdoing it in any way possible. So that's made a massive difference there, I think. It's that little bit of green. And now you can push that green up into that cheek. You'll also come across this problem with darker colours. They can get stuck into the tooth of the paper, go darker than what the rest of the shading is. It's really annoying, but you can't get rid of them. All you need is a ballpoint pen rubber. This one's a Stedler Mars Razor, and it's designed to rub out ballpoint pen, but it's really good for colour pencil. Like, you can take stuff away. You can actually use it for blending as well, which, if you just scribble over it like that, for example, you can take it off and leave a highlight there that isn't exactly completely white. As you can see, they're gone, so definitely get yourself one of those. Just going to sharpen this a second. I also use these, which are it's basically the binder in a coloured pencil without the pigment, so you can use it to blend with without actually colouring the paper. This one's made by Caran d'Ache. It's one white massive wax stick, but you can get them. Oh, everything's missing. You can get them like that. That's a Caran d'Ache as well, but you can get Derwent or whatever. They're pretty much the same thing. And they are relatively cheap as well, but you can see now it's like this, it isn't exactly blended out, but I don't want to add any more colour because I'm going to lose the paleness. So what you can do with this is basically go over it and blend out what you've done. That's if it doesn't break. That mine's just done. You can kind of just blend out where you've just been, just go lightly. Sometimes, depending on the colour, it will amplify the colour, so that colour will go a bit more darker maybe sometimes, or it won't be the colour you laid down, it'll be too much, then you have to rub it out, that kind of thing. But yeah, they're very good, I mean, because you can push the colour pencil into other areas of the paper and make it more subtle for yourself. But as you can see, you can have problems like that again. You can just take this and kind of remove it from the paper. If you want to push that back, you just use the ballpoint pen and push it back. Doesn't really matter about this part because it's quite dark in there anyway, because that's the crease of a mouth. Bits everywhere. Right. I'm going to use a little bit of heavy, and I'm going to be very, very light with it because it's a very powerful colour. Just under the cheeks. I think it's in there a little tiny bit, so I'm going to go really, really light. It's like really powerful and it'll overpower everything. Make everything look stupid. I'm sorry if there's loads of ambient noise going around as well. It's about 160 billion degrees outside, so I've got the window open, so there might be some screaming kids. I've got a fan running and my fridge is running, so if we don't have all them problems it'd be a pretty quiet video, but I'm just sweating sitting here, so I'm definitely not working without the fan on today. Got some kind of heat wave going on, but because it's Britain it'll probably rain in about 2 or 3 days, and then you won't see the sun again for about 12 years. Also, you can actually do skin texture with this. I've done this a few times. I've done it with charcoal and graphite pencil on my channel. You can go find them if you want. I'll leave, a link in that, thingy, the eye thingy in the corner. And it's basically the same method. It's just dots. Now, obviously, if this face was like corner to corner, so it's a lot bigger, I won't be using dots. I'd actually drawing out the pores because you're much closer in magnification, so you can draw them in. But in terms of this, what I'm going to do is just do some little dots and just leave them like that. Don't overdo it because it'll look stupid. Just these tiny little dots can make your work look more realistic, because basically what happens is that the mind fills in the blanks. If you show it a little bit, kind of like less is more, you'll just assume that that's skin texture. It's just an illusion. Just that there, that's skin texture. That's done. You know what I mean? I've done it up in here as well. You can see it's a little bit in there, a little bit in here. It's just enough so that when you look at it, it makes the mind kind of tricks the person that's looking at it into thinking that it's real. Just little subtle bits. But if you looked at her face up close, there'd be thousands of pores. But it's kind of like when you draw a dog, like when you're a kid and you try to draw every single hair and it looks stupid, and really your eyes don't see like you just draw it. When you draw hair, it's just block, and then you'll have a few stray hairs, and then your mind fills in the blanks and thinks, oh, it's hair. So that's just a little trick. A few little dots just had to like the skin texture and the realism, basically. As you can see, it didn't take much for me to basically block in this little cheek here. It's almost done. So pale skin can be quite quick to block out because you don't need to add much colour, because there's a lot of white and grey in there, and they're fairly simple colours to lay down. Where you run into trouble is to actually do the shadows properly. As you know, I'm a big fan of Mars Black. It's my favourite colour, but I have not used it anywhere on this face apart from maybe the nostrils. Obviously, where anywhere there's black to be blended out, I've used it. Maybe down here, but anywhere that's in shadow, I haven't used it because it was too powerful. I couldn't make it work. It just didn't look right, so it had to be rubbed out. So instead, because I always saw Mars Black as a bit of a shortcut to actually getting my shadows I want them, instead of going up with different colours like autumn brown or natural brown. But you can do that on kind of like darker skin. You can't do that on pale skin. You have to build up your colours. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use this colour. I can't pronounce it. I think it's Taupe. Kind of like a taupe maybe. I don't know. But it's like a grey violet. It's darker than the Mars violet basically. I'm going to push this out to the side nostril. Push this out to the left nostril. Side nostril. I'm staying light. I can push much harder than this and I'll get this kind of colour, but I don't want to do that because it isn't that dark on the reference. And then Starts again there. Starts again there. So you've got like these little creases going down. They might be quite hard to imitate, but got 5 minutes left. You can push that out a bit because it's dark anyway. That'll be much darker eventually. I think I'll put some autumn brown into that, which is kind of like this colour, to get on that side of that lip a little bit. This colour is a good additive to the green that we added, and they kind of blend nice together. Forget I've got this shadow going all the way down this side. Yeah, I'm going to need to go a lot darker, get rid of that hamster cheek on that side. I'm still staying light, I'm just moving quicker, but I'm still staying light, if that makes sense. It looks like it's transitioned a bit more. So if you get problems like that again, you can use the ballpoint pen rubber again and rub them out. Or you can go get another colour and see if you can blend them out, because that in there's too white. It's probably going to be the Fosil Grey again. So, like I said, if you go over and they ain't disappearing, which they're not. It's just where it's attached to the tip of the paper a bit differently from the rest of it. So it's just what happens with a colour pencil, I find. It might happen different with different papers, I don't know. Another one. That's how you get rid of them anyway. No. I've got grey up in here. You look quite nice because this girl's got freckles as well, so I might do a tutorial on that as well. How you can draw freckles, because that would be quite nice added with bigger freckles, like bigger ones. So push that around a bit. There's like a white patch there, and I don't want to colour over it too much. Push that down a bit there. I don't want to push too much grey into the top of the lip because it's white. It's quite a harsh reflection there, so but it need to be blended out into grey either way, so I'm going to go back to dusky pink because I want to keep that pink, but I want to blend it out without losing it, because if I blend out with the grey it will go. So I'm going to push a little bit harder with the dusky pink out. Now if dusky pink is a bit too strong, you can always push back with that Fosil Grey and kind of just layer them on top of each other. You can shade however you want, by the way. I shade like this and I do little circles. Some people will just do little circles like that. Either way is good. You can push that up there. Right then, I'm just going to sharpen this pencil. This colour is, it's called flash pink, but it's basically, I don't know, like a creamy pink colour. I don't really like it when they call them flesh tone colours because it doesn't really matter, because you can see I've added green to this, so it's the same flesh tone colours are just daft. Because if you weren't used to coloured pencil, you grab that thinking, oh, I can do flash with this, but which you can, but it should be added with other things. Now we're going to blend out some of this with this colour. And you can see where it's starting to blend out now. You know, all them colours are coming together kind of thing. I'm not pushing super hard, I'm just kind of blending them out. You will get patches where they don't want blend, but you can fix them in other ways. I'll probably just use the ballpoint pen rubber and kind of rub it back a bit, so you can just rub it back a bit, get rid of any sharp edges that be a pain in the arse blend out. Shade back in with this, and then if you need to go darker you can do, because darker colours will go over light a lot easier. As you can see, they're all blending out into the cheek. I've just got that one little weird patch there. They're rubbed out. So I can put that back in with wherever it's gone. Where are you? Mars Violet. Get really light and rub back over it until you get the right shade. Where's that one gone? Bit of cinnamon. And the reason why I tell you stay light as well, so you don't max out the tooth of the paper. I might have mentioned that already, I don't know. But and then in there it's going to go, it's kind of like a shadow that comes down here and wraps around there, so I can do that later. Keep wanting to push the cinnamon into that, but it's not even that colour, it's more of a greeny colour, so if you want to take that heather again and just, you know, knock in a little bit more skin texture, can do. And kind of lightly shade over the top of it. I have been using another colour, but a bit of an unusual one. I'll just sharpen it. Called Oyster, so it's like a white with a little dash of pink in it, and you can push all this back with it, so it's not exactly white, but it will blend it out. But again, I'd be careful with it. You can make everything really pink. It looks weird. Because I'm knocking back all them, you know, them little imperfections by blending it out. It's quite a nice pencil, really. You just have to be careful with it. Might even knock this back a bit. Yeah, it is. So it's knocking back that shadowy bit that won't even budge. Okay, so it's all coming across now as a nice little blend. It starts to soften up a bit. I'm losing all like the undertones of dead where it looks quite kind of like this, because I haven't done this part yet. because now I'm getting to the part where it's all kind of blending together into a nice little cake. Don't know how to describe it, and it's starting to look a lot smoother. Obviously I don't want too much skin texture because I am drawing a little girl, and children tend to have softer skin, don't have much skin texture. If I put too much skin texture in, she'll look a lot older than what she is. She's going to look older anyway because whoever took the photograph has put makeup on her, done her eyes and done her hair, so she's going to look a lot older than what she is anyway. How long have we been going? 41 minutes. Oh my god. Like I said, half an hour. I'm gonna have to wrap this up in a minute. Otherwise, I bet you're asleep. I bet you're all asleep watching this. Okay then guys, I'm going to call that it for this little tutorial of this cheek on how to draw pale skin. Obviously I need a lot more work. I've got to come down here, darken this side to match this side of the lips so it looks more natural. But other than that, I am posting progressions of this on my Instagram. I've got some reels on there and stuff, but depending on when you found this video it might already be finished, so you know, you can see the final piece, but honestly it depends on when you found this video. Yeah, so please like, subscribe and comment, share, and thank you very much for watching.